Welcome to a great Thursday night and another Tackle Shop Live.
Sunny day, right there you took my breath away. Young and pretty, was it just a dream?
What's up, Patrick Kingery?
You called me up, you told me I'm your little
First
buttercup.
to the road again.
You came over and you fell into my
Gilbert,
arms.
how are you, buddy? Scott Luckoff, good to see you, man. Conway, what's up, Conway? How you doing, buddy? Robert Murray, hope everything's good down there in Tennessee. I know it's hot. Yeah, James Graham, how are you, man? Frank Garvey in the house. Bob Graham, how are you doing, man? Yeah, Little Rich. Michael Bradley, how are you, man? Joseph Cascarino, how are you, Joe? I got your order out today, buddy. Robert Mills in the house. Jim Orwig, how are you, buddy? Matt Robinson. Good to see you, Matt. Mark Carter, how are you, Mark? Jeff Santangelo. Jeff, I got your message. And I forgot to call you. I'm sorry, bud. I'll call you tomorrow. Dave Schottlemeyer, how are you, Dave? Shane McNaughton. Good to see you, Shane. Marky's in the house, of course. Mark's always here. Ed Ranowski, Jake Rinaldi, George Ashbridge. How you doing, George? I saw you running around the river Sunday. Good to see you there, buddy. Mike Hayer, checking in, baby. That's right, Danny Paus. Man, I'll tell you what, we got a great crew tonight, and I'm excited for a great show. We got a lot of fishing talk we're going to talk about, some tournament fishing and how that affects our learning curve and what we can learn off of it. So that always sparks off some great conversations. My name is Mike Acord. George Acord's here walking around somewhere. And behind the camera is cameraman Nick. He is back in the house with us. Good to see him. And have Nick back here. Nick, how you doing, bud?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm always excited to be here.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
You know, every time I come in here, I know I've said it a lot, but I come in here and I see what's new and I'm like, holy smokes. It's always something.
Man, it's like Christmas in here I keep saying it to people, it's like Christmas in here every day, man. These boxes come in, we're all excited, we're carving them open, we're looking at them, we're touchy-feely, and hanging this stuff up and letting everybody know it's coming in. And man, we've been getting some great stuff. Some of the ICAST stuff has been rolling in here, and George is going to go over that here in just a minute with Tackle Talk. And we got a great show tonight, Nick. We're going to do our Tackle Talk, and we're going to jump into some great fishing conversation on tournaments and what we can learn from them, and then talk about some tournaments here that are going on and some cool stuff that's happening there. But man, Nick, we had our kayak tournament last weekend.
I seen that.
Man, it was a great event. Can't thank everybody enough for showing up and fishing. We had 69 anglers, which was great to see. We had some great people here. We had some hammers in the house, a lot of the Susquehanna River Masters were here, and Christine Fisher stopped in and she participated also, which was pretty cool. That was really cool. To see her here.
Yeah, that was the highlight of the whole event for me, man. I mean, you have a national touring pro like that come by.
Well, it's funny you say that, George, because I was driving, I'm watching you guys, and my wife's like, "Who's that?" I said, "Whoa, wait a minute." I said, she's a top-notch kayak.
Whoa, wait.
Yeah, whoa. I did put the finger up.
Yeah.
Because not only is she a great kayak angler, a lot of people don't know, but she's also doing the opens.
Absolutely.
And not a lot of people are competing well in the opens in her, in the women's division. She is.
Yeah.
She does very well.
Oh,
So
yeah.
She's top notch.
She catches them. I mean, there's no doubt she's a hammer, really awesome fisherman. You
Well,
know,
yeah, and not
she-
only that, Mike, the social media work.
Oh yeah, she's one of the top in the social media world, and she's a pioneer for the women. You know, she pioneers a lot of stuff for women and shows and promotes that to the women in the sport, and really has encouraged a lot of younger ladies to get involved.
Yep.
And to see that it can be done. You can go out there, you can catch them, you could be competitive as well as anybody. I mean, she absolutely smashed them this weekend. And she would have smashed him in the Bassmaster, but had some mechanical issues with her rig.
Let's put it mildly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bassmaster does a program called Bassmaster.
Yeah.
And there's a group of, I know Christine Fisher is one of the women that they run it. They go to every elite tournament. Well, maybe not everyone, but most of them, and they do a workshop for women that are interested in, the bass fishing life, and they, different aspects of fishing at each workshop, and she's one of the spokespeople
instructor, spokesperson.
Well, spokesperson, instructor, pretty much. I think there's like 3 or 4 women total.
Yeah.
And they all fish. They all fish, either opens or kayak or both. And so that's pretty big time. And to have her come and fish our tournament was really impressive. And
we loved it.
Was really glad to see that happen.
We loved it.
And not to mention, when you're doing it for the love of the game. There's no reason why else are you going to drive across the country and fish tournaments every weekend? It's for the love of the game, so very refreshing.
Yep. She was one that would back to back. There was a couple people stayed over from the Bassmasters, stayed the extra week and fished our tournaments. We appreciate it from you guys very much and showing this support. I also want to thank 13 Fishing for their sponsorship. Every angler that fished our tournament, Nick, got a Jinx rod, 13 Fishing Jinx rod, which is
a big deal.
I mean, the cost of the rod isn't that high, but the rod is really nice. And George and I both looked at them and checked them out, and we were like, this is an impressive rod, and it was just a great addition to the tournament, and it really it does exactly what we want to do happen. We want people to come to this sport and enjoy this sport and get introduced to this sport. But a lot of people are like, man, $150, I don't know what I'm doing. It's just $150 down the drain. Well, we always like to have an added benefit to the tournament, and we do it with our Summer Slam tournament and with Shimano and G Loomis and all they do for us. And this for 13 Fishing to come up and do this and step up to the plate and sponsor this event in that way is a very big thing. And it's a very big thing for kayak fishing, because they're showing their support, they're showing their interest, and they're supporting that whole side of tournament fishing out there. So that was really cool to see that and have them for the second year in a row back in our tournament and back in George and I here, which we really appreciate it. We appreciate Charles Daughtery for all his hard work and what he did for it. And we also, our own Mike Reinhold for what he has done for helping us with running these tournaments and making sure that we're on track and doing it the right way, and all he does. So we appreciate him very much, and all of our staff. I mean, all of our staff came in to support it and help out with the extra people that came and the extra event. We had a nice little sales event in here for everybody, and it was just a great time.
Who's the most underappreciated person in organized tournament bass fishing?
I don't know. Tournament director.
Thank you. I thought I kind of teed it up for you. All you had to do is put it down the fairway or close. What do?
George, nobody can read your mind.
Complete slice.
Nobody can read your mind. Your mind is like a vault.
I was pretty
locked down all the time.
I'm pretty sure Nick would have said tournament director.
It was my first, but you said who? And I'm like,
Who?
who?
Yeah, who would have been?
I'm like,
Yeah.
The most underappreciated person in any form of tournament fishing, from the club angler to the Elite Series Pro. The most underappreciated person is the
Yeah.
tournament director.
and you know what? It's funny today more than ever. You know why? Because there's more decisions to be made today than there used to be.
Oh yeah, there's so much stuff
Think
going
about
on. There's so much stuff in the background going on, and you know, you get a lot of questions. I was placed on the tournament app as the tournament director
did see that.
with my phone number, and my phone started ringing at 5 a.m.
How-
I was like, what in the heck is going on here? You know, and you know, answering questions, and and that was cool because they were questions from guys who just never did this before. And
So-
they had questions. So you know,
that was important.
that was very
It
important.
made them more relaxed
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
comfortable fishing. But
Yep.
if you want to understand the joys of being a tournament director and really, you know, take into consideration where you are in your life and how happy you might or may not be, become the tournament director for a local bass club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then just say anything. Just open your mouth up and speak.
Yeah. Bring up a new idea.
Anything. Did you realize it was windy today? It was not windy today.
Yeah.
You're
So
telling the truth.
I am
Yeah.
telling the truth.
yeah.
It's all good and it's all good in the end,
Yeah.
but if you don't have, I'll tell you what, if you don't have a good tournament director, you don't have successful events, your bass club's going to fold and go down the toilet. That tournament director is the most key guy. He's the most underappreciated guy,
Yeah.
and he takes a beating. And our Mike Reinhold is
Yeah.
he's
He-
gentle giant, and he does a pretty good job
he
of
does-
keeping
I-
the wheels on the track.
He does an excellent job, and we're lucky to have him. We appreciate him like big time. Bob Whitmer's chiming in here. It was his first tournament, and he had a great time out there all the way up to the storms. We did have a storm come through at like 1:30, I think it was, or 1 o'clock, and it rained, but it wasn't like a terrible lightning storm, so everybody could stay out and fish. And if you were up north above Harrisburg there, you didn't get as much rain. It was more localized right around here, and the guys that fished the southern portion of the event got a little wet. Most of them had rain gear, I guess, and some of them were chased off, but that was okay.
Well, you know, the other thing about a summertime storm as it's approaching, that bite gets on.
Yeah, you can have some exciting.
Now, I'll tell you what I've noticed over the years is if it does turn into an actual lightning storm, then that bite sucks.
And it's scary too, and it's dangerous, and you got to be careful. So everybody was careful, and everybody got through that, and it was pretty good that way. You know, and then it cleared off and got nice. So that was pretty cool. So I had a great time. I just really enjoyed watching. You know, as a spectator, you can watch right on the app, the Tourney X app, which is a really spectacular app.
You're not kidding.
Those guys, not only did they calculates everything, but I also saw on there where they calculated the hourly fish, you know, the hourly biggest fish caught. And maybe next year we'll have a Calcutta for, you know, each hour that you can get in on a side pot, you know, and then we'll pay every hour.
That
out.
prevents sandbagging.
Yeah, it'll prevent some of that. Yeah, because some of the guys, I know some of the guys sandbag, and that's a technique that people do, but that's fine. But I thought that would be pretty cool,
It is cool.
to maybe do that next year. So
The other thing that was interesting about that Tourney X is, you know, I'm new to this.
yeah,
So I'm trying to follow it because it's cool, you know, and I'm watching, and all of a sudden it goes blank.
yeah,
And I'm like, uh-oh.
yeah,
Well, because they shut it off because it's suspense, you know. It's
yeah.
like, oh,
Well,
yep.
the guy that runs Tourney X, he's got his game together.
Yeah, he
he's
does.
pretty good.
It's pretty
He's
cool.
pretty good. Yeah, he's good to work with too.
he's a very, very nice guy, and he is very smart, and he has great intentions for the sport. And I had a chance to have a long conversation with him, and got to know him a little bit there, and he's just a really super nice guy. he's got a lot of plans coming in the future for kayak fishing through Tourney X, which is going to be really, really cool. So we're excited about that, to be working with him. So the tournament was a great success. We had a really great turnout. We paid out over just about $8,000 in prize money. So that was a big deal for us to pay out everything. We kept a little bit for the expenses of Tourney X and the judges, but the rest of the money we kept it right in on the payout, and we had a really, really nice payout there. And seventh place, Nick, Charlie Rustler, he had 92 inches. So 92 inches took seventh place. We paid 7 spots out of 69.
And Mike, real quick, for those that don't know, when you say 92 inches, is that what you said?
Yeah,
that's 5 fish.
The biggest 5 fish that you submit.
Okay.
So you can submit 20, 30 fish, and the Tourney app automatically calculates your best 5. And Charlie Rustler came in 7th place, and he had 92 inches.
I want to say something there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever followed him on his social media.
Yeah, Charlie.
I love that guy.
He's a great guy.
He's got like awesome opinions on a lot of different things. Obviously centered around the kayak world, but the kayak world and the non-kayak world, it's just, it's just the way you score them in the boat. We're fishermen. We're all fishermen, right? It's not like a separate group of people. We're all bass fishermen.
Yeah.
So the opinions I find to be very, I like his opinions.
Yeah.
He speaks real.
6th place with 92.5 inches was, I'm not even going to try his first name. I botched it the first time. It's G. Gonzalez. Really nice guy. I think he's travels with Christine. I think fiance. I think is Christine's fiance. Really nice guy. Super nice guy.
I think he told you he was going to ask her later. So I don't know if you should have brought that up.
No, I don't think so.
I'm just kidding you.
Yeah. Boy, that'd be terrible.
Breaking news here on SFD.
Boy, that'd be terrible.
Oops.
And then 5th place, and this fella had Lunker too with 92.5. Now you can see that's a tie. We had 92.5 for 6th and 92.5 for 5th, but this guy had big fish of the tournament. Matthew Falver had 92.5, but he had big fish of 21.25 inches.
That's a stud.
That's a stud fish. He caught that one. And I think he said he caught it right towards the end of the day. It was a monster fish.
Did you see a picture of that fish?
I saw a picture of it. Giant freaking fish flopped over the board. It was huge.
A 21 incher like that equates to what you think in pounds? You think?
Depends how good it's eaten.
Yeah. Well, this time
5 pounder.
Yeah, summertime fish. It's at high 4s and maybe the low 5s.
That's a big fish.
A springtime fish that's 5.5 easy, 5.5, 5 3/4. That's a giant fish.
That's a big fish.
That's a really big fish. There's just not a lot of them swimming around. I can tell you that much. That's a trophy fish, big time. Actually, there was a lot of 20 inchers weighed in, and I don't have those stats. Mike had those stats for me, and I forgot that paper. I lost it somewhere, or he has it. But 4th place was 93.25 inches. Josh Sims with that catch, really, really nice. And then 3rd place was Frank Reed. I think they call him Twiggy. Twiggy. 94 inches. Congratulations to you with 3rd place. Of course, 2nd place was Christine Fisher with 94.75. She led the tournament for most of the day. She had 92 inches, like right off the first thing in the morning. She said it was a great bite first thing, and caught all her fish on a swim bait. So that was pretty cool. And then our champion for 2026 was Bill Durbarol. Bill Durbarol. I think I got better that time. 95.25 inches, and took a check home for $4,000. Awesome. He caught all his fish on a buzz bait, super shallow water. So, like I said, there were 69 entries. We paid out almost $8,000. And for the last time, I really want to thank 13 Fishing for their great effort and their great support of the tournament kayak world, and for Susquehanna Fishing Tackle. We really appreciate it, and we thank you guys immensely. And George and I decided that we are going to go forward for next year with another event, and we're, try to hit that 150 boat mark. We really want to have a first place payout of $10,000.
Cash
is where we really want to go in cash. And I'm hoping that you guys listening, you guys that are on the fence, can prepare. You got a whole year to prepare and get ready for this. And let's try to get 150 anglers, and let's blow this thing out of the water and make it truly the Susquehanna River Classic that we want to make it. So we appreciate you guys very much with that. Nick, you going to get a kayak?
I'll tell you what.
For 10 grand?
I would absolutely do it. But I just wanted to say this, and I'm speaking for everybody who fishes SummerSlam. I'm speaking for everybody who fished your kayak tournament and comes to all your shows and does all that stuff. You guys think outside the box and take chances that nobody else will, and you give everybody the opportunity to fish events that there's nothing like that out there.
Yeah.
And the people that you introduce to the sport, I meet them every weekend at the lakes and local rivers. And I think you guys deserve the accolades for all that. I know you guys don't like to take it,
Yeah.
but thank you.
We love
the anglers.
Thank you. Thank
Yep.
you very much. Yeah. We enjoy doing it. George and I enjoy doing it. And because we are stewards of the sport, we want to promote fishing, and we want to get everybody to fish. That's our goal, is to get everybody out fishing, and at whatever level. It doesn't have to be tournament fishing, but that's our goal, is to help people catch fish and help people catch more fish. It's always been our thing. It's always been our driving force, and quite frankly, we love it. We love the industry. We love tackle. We love fishing. We love tournament fishing. And it's been really good to us over the years, both tournament fishing and the tackle business. And we love our customers. Our customers are just everything to us, are absolutely everything to us. And I know I'm getting all weird about this, but that's a really big deal for us, is our customers. And that's why we do Tackle Shop Live, quite frankly, with you guys, is for the customers. We want to, hopefully you get a little tidbit of information that allows you to move on and use and catch more fish. And that's really what it's all about. So,
hey guys, I wanted to quickly ask you a question about this tournament. I think it's absolutely awesome that you guys hit a buzz bait and a swim bait.
Yeah.
I mean, those bites are just fantastic, but do most people, maybe you don't know this, do they catch them in the area they put in the morning, or do they move a lot?
There's no way to answer that.
Yeah, I don't, because I don't know
You
much
go-
about kayaking.
Go wherever you want.
So you could move.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what, these kayaks, bro. I know
Yeah.
you never did the kayak thing.
No.
It's
But-
crazy.
Really?
I mean, I spent a lot of time on the Susky in the summer, and I'm telling you, they have some serious mobility.
They got a lot of range now. There's a lot
We
of
were-
range involved now.
We were fishing a little hat tournament on Sunday, and there was a gentleman, and we were in some pretty heavy flow, and there was a gentleman who's come up in our he was off to our side, but he was in our view, and he was in some pretty good current, because that's where the fish were. My man was just plugging away, buddy. He had his trolling motor hooked up. It wasn't his first day, and that boat was impressive.
Yeah, it went through my mind because Christine
Fisher.
yeah,
Yeah.
she had all that weight or
Yeah.
that inches in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder if she stayed in that area all day, or she
She fished a boat without a motor.
Yeah. She was,
She had a really, like, the guys that were out. I was out during the awards presentation. I was out in the parking lot, kind of keeping an eye on people's stuff. And the people I asked, because it's a very unique looking kayak. It's a Hobie kayak, very, very unique looking kayak. And they said that thing is so light and it's so efficient. It cuts through the water. You can cover great distance with very little effort. Handles really well. So they're very impressive craft.
Yeah, she told me she felt like she was at a disadvantage because at the end of the day, when she wanted to make her moves to better her bag, and she had some moves she wanted to do, she tried to do it, but ran out of steam. She just didn't have enough in her legs from fishing all week. Because she shot, all kinds of video content and stuff during that week between Bassmaster and our tournament. She was doing a lot of sponsors video shooting, and she told me she had two areas she wanted to get to and actually tried to get to it and just ran out of steam, and her legs were burning and on fire. And she said she just pedaled way too much and couldn't go anymore. But still, even at that, she was good enough that she made that decision where to go with what she had, and did really well catching them, and that was pretty cool. So, but yeah, Nick, those kayaks, dude, they have some serious range to them now. They can cover the water. I mean, they can cover it. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So there you have it. 2026 Kayak Classic in the books. And what a great event.
You know what next year's going to be, don't you?
What's that?
Bigger.
Yeah.
And better.
One thing I do got to say about
this.
this.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you knew that or
I
not.
knew that. It's going to be bigger.
I know Nick knows it.
Yeah, everybody knows it.
But I wasn't sure if you did.
Oh, I know it. But we did have a bet, Nick, and I'm going to bring this out.
I got it written down right here, bro.
We got it. We had a bet, and it was whatever your size was or whatever your weight was, you couldn't be over.
Inches.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Whatever inches you guessed, you couldn't be over. And right before the end of the tournament, George went over to Carlisle Westerly and said, was talking and said, "Hey, you want in on this?"
No, before the tournament, before the day before the tournament.
Day before the tournament, and
I could see that he was feeling.
We were talking about it. We were talking about it, and he was
big eyeing the whole entire situation, and I'm like, I'm just looking at that's 12 hot old bay for me, man. I'm coming in. Yeah. I'm gonna,
The bet was wings and beer for the closest to the winning inches, but not going over. And what was 95 at 20.25, 95 and a quarter was the winning inches.
Which you were 94 and a quarter.
Yep.
So you were 1 inch off.
Yep.
I was 96 and a half. So I was 1 1/4 inches off, but I went over.
But you went over.
Carlisle was, like I say, I tend to big eye my fish. I mean, we all know this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can pretty much swag mine down by at least 10%, whatever I tell you. Carlisle,
he was big eye.
I mean, he was feeling it. And I love it too, because the bite was freaking on.
It was. And
I loved his pick at 98. And he came in, he was like, I'd be like, "Hey, Carlisle, you want to get in our bet? 98 inches, 98. Mark it down." So, okay.
So Carlisle's in. We got to come up with a date with that.
Me and Carlisle are buying.
We'll let you know. We will be collecting on that.
We'll bring cameraman Nick along.
And we'll have cameraman Nick. Maybe we'll do it on. I know you're working the evenings and nights, so
we'll figure it out.
We'll work it out with you, brother, for sure.
We'll figure it out. It was a fun wager, fun times, great tournament. Okay.
All right. So, hey, we are a tackle shop.
Mm-hmm.
We love talking about tackle.
We do.
And we love this segment. And this is called Tackle Talk. Yeah, baby. I'll tell you, George, it's been like Christmas in here a lot this week.
I don't agree with the
terminology.
No.
You don't?
No, because
you don't like
when
that?
I'm unloading the back of a tractor trailer and carrying the boxes in and spending 18 hours checking the products in, it does nothing like that. Reminds me of for me, Christmas
exciting.
Is 3 football games, 2 basketball games, and a 12-pack. Okay, I didn't do any of that.
Well, yeah, it depends how you look at it.
Well, George, let me ask you. So, trucks come in, and it is like Christmas.
Yeah.
Do you ever go, oh shit, I forgot I got that? Or you pretty
No.
much know?
Because if it's got, I'm checking my I's, dotting my T's. I mean, you don't. The reality is not like that. Okay,
No.
there's nothing fun about it. This is missing. This box is broken. This box is lost. You know, it's never fun. But the end result is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
And this week's awesomeness, and we're only going to let a little out at a time. I mean, you know, we're not.
We got to flood the market.
No, you can't do that. That's wrong.
All right.
I mean, if you surf around sfttackle.com, you'll see some things we don't talk about tonight. But
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, there you go. There's a buzzkill right there. You could go check it all out on
Well, you could.
sfttackle.com.
So what I got for you this week, and this was a fun one for me because back in April or May, we did a line preview with Z-Man, but we did it on the water. And we had Z-Man, super pro staffer Joe Raymond, legend on the Susquehanna River. And then we had myself, we had Brandon from Z-Man, and we had Rich Dennison from RDO Marketing. And we all got together and cut loose on the river for some video shoot.
Yeah, this was like what a good month and a half before.
As I said, it was either April or May.
Yeah,
late April, early May.
So it was cool to be able to see touchy feely and fish products that were not even out yet, not even kind of really, you know, even being built. They just built.
Plus, I procured quite a few of them.
Yeah,
the boat,
which was cool because then I was,
you know, the boats needed to be cleaned up afterwards, and my boat was particularly dinged up with new Z-Man products, so I took it upon myself to clean them up for Brandon.
Yeah,
Brandon was on the road. Brandon did this trip with Joe and I, and then Brandon left that night and drove to Lake Erie and worked with. Not sure who he worked with at Lake Erie. I want to say it was a former tour pro that works for Z-Man now, but I'm not sure. But they crushed it with some killer video there, and then he went out to Minnesota and worked with Seth Fighter, and he just did this grand tour. But along the way, you know, we got to see what's up for, and I really like that. It's outside the mold thinking. You know, this was, you know, 4 months before ICAST, and we had the entire 2027 product line in the water. Now, we didn't fish everything. We only had X amount of hours. But anyways, long-winded story. A lot of fun. Great time. Love the process. We shot a ton of video. Which I'm sure some of you have seen. It's out there. We did like an interview style. It was really cool. But the first bait that I want to talk to you about was kind of cool because during our video, Joe, you know, we introduced each video a little differently. And the whole time we're sitting there, we're in Joe's monster truck jet boat. And we're spot locked down in a quiet area because we were fishing, you know, in some Class 9 whitewater rapids, and they were too noisy to film in. So we went over to a quiet area, and we're shooting, you know, video on this product and a video on this, just rolling, you know, like we got everything lined up, got everything prepped, and then just ran through them. Boom, ba boom, boom, ba boom, ba boom. You know, just a little short, you know, vignette. And the whole time I'm looking over in my peripheral, and there's shad jumping. Gizzard shad about this big. They're jumping up. They're in a little eddy pocket, and they're jumping up against some water willow and some old reeds. Not water willow. It wasn't up yet. Some old reed stems. They're white before they get healthy again. When they're dormant, they turn white. And Brandon said, well, okay, let's do the octane minnow. And how do you want to introduce that? I said, I'd like to have Joe on camera. He was on the front deck. We were all in the cockpit. maybe you could put Joe on camera and have him pick the rod up, adjust the octane minnow, and it was a smelt color 3.3. Fire it into that grass line over there, because I've been sitting here shooting the last 3 videos, dying to pick up my rod because they are just murdering shad in there. And then he'll, of course, catch a fish right away, and then he'll boat flip him. We'll catch him and take the octane minnow out of his mouth and do the video. And that's exactly what we did. And we fished the bait all day long. Long-winded story, but I like to tell stories. You know that. So the octane minnow is based on the tail on the swag. I'm going to get the bigger 3.8 size here. It's based on the tail on the swag LT. So it's got that swag tail. And if you fish the swag LT, then you know what I'm talking about. This tail is got a heart, kind of a heart shape to it, but it's got a keel. And I mean, you can crawl it, you can burn it. That tail is active. You can't blow it out. It has a nice body roll like this. It's got everything you want. Plus, it's a Lastec. So if you rig this up on, let's say you're fishing it on a jig head, the pitfalls, you catch a fish,
Yeah.
tears your bait up. You re-rig it, you put super glue on it. You're great. I mean, you're loving life, but this bad boy, you rig it up on the proper style jig head with the proper style keeper. I mean, you're good to go. I literally got like 3 pieces, not 3 packs, 3 baits, and was able to keep them alive until like 2 weeks ago. And actually,
well, we were also tearing them up, unrigging them, rigging them back up.
We were trying all different kinds of rigging.
Yeah. So
actually, we probably could still be fishing.
We could absolutely. We could have. Yeah.
But you have a 2.8. Okay. You have a 3.3. And then you have a 3.8. Let me get these put up here for you. Let's go like that. So you have 2.8, 6 count, and then the 3.3 and the 3.8 are 5 count. They're $6.99 a pack. And then you have the Z-Man colors, baby.
Got great colors.
I mean, look at that. The deal.
Fish catcher.
Awesome colors. This one here is called Baby Gill.
Yeah. It's a lot like, sungill type of thing. Beautiful, beautiful sungill color.
And you have Pro Blue Red Pearl.
Yeah.
But anyways, there's a bunch of colors. But my point is, Mike and I spent the last 3 months fishing them. And here we go. Put them on a ball head or some sort of jig head.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we had them on Baby Guppy head from Dirty Jigs. We had them on weedless Z-Man weedless swim bait head. We had them on swim bait head.
Yep.
Z-Man. We had them on the TT Lures little swim bait head.
Yep.
We had them on
SFT head.
SFT ball head. We had them on the one I kind of liked also was the Strike King Squadron head.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, there's a lot of good jig heads, a lot of good ways to rig them. Also, you can rig them on a belly weight. You take that 3/0 ZWG hook with a 1/16 or an 1/8 ounce and put it on that 3.8. Now you're totally weedless. And when you get that thing up over that keeper, that ain't going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. Yep.
Chatterbait trailer. The 3.3 and the 3.8 on your Z-Man Evos and your jackhammers and your baby jacks.
Perfect.
swim jig.
Yeah.
Putting them on the back of a swim jig, putting them on an A rig. I mean, these things are legit. So check them out.
It's definitely different than the Minnow Z's and the diesel minnows. You know, the whole.
Well, it has a whole different profile, and it has
Yeah.
a lot about a body roll.
Yeah, has a lot more body roll. It's a totally different deal than the ones that are out there now, the Minnow Z and the diesel minnows. Although they're freaking awesome. We caught thousands of fish on them. This is a totally different look and a totally different swim in the water. So it's a good compliment to what you already have.
I love it.
Is one of the things that I noticed about it.
I mean, really, one of the most versatile baits that you throw as a bass fisherman is a boot foot swim bait. I mean, you have itty bitty all the way up to, 8-inch, 6-7 inch.
Yeah.
They're just versatile. They're used in almost every aspect of fishing.
Yeah.
Trailers,
Yep.
standalone.
Yep.
I mean, we just went through a whole rundown.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another. SFT approved. Not that means anything. We love them.
Yep.
We love them, and check them out. Most of the colors are in stock. You know, we did get a shipment in with most of the colors and sizes. So, you know, if you figure there's like 10 colors, 3 sizes, 30 models, you know, we got 20 of them, 23.
Yeah, we released them a couple days ago and sold through a lot of color, you know, a lot of them, but we still have a bunch of them here and ready to roll.
Yeah, and the rest of the colors I'm sure will be along and not too long. This is they shipped them ahead of schedule. It's an ICAST release, obviously. Good stuff though. So, What do you think, Nick? I know you're a big Z-Man guy. I know. I don't know if you had a chance to fish this when you were out with us earlier. But
No, But I did get to see the action in ICAST, and what I liked about it is they're very soft and they have a lot of just action to them, which for me, it's a very nice finesse bait. And I think in highly pressured water, I like that. It's a very natural looking bait.
No doubt.
I like it.
No doubt.
It's definitely a winner.
It is a winner.
It's definitely a winner. It's going to go down in time as a standard staple.
Yep.
You know, you got your minnows, your diesel minnows. Now you have your octane minnows.
Yeah.
And it's going to become a staple. I just say you're going to need to get another one of those bags, them zipper bags.
Yeah. Fill it up.
Get your Sharpie pen out and write octane minnow on it because that's how it's going down.
Yeah.
So anyways, $6.99 a pack, 2.8s are 6 count, 3 3s and 3 8s are 5 count. If I was a betting man, I would say that at next year's ICAST, there will be a 4.8 at least.
4.3 and a 4.8.
I'm just saying. The other thing that we did on that trip, now we did quite a few baits on that trip, and it was really cool to be able to get our hands on these baits because this next bait marks an entirely new era for Z-Man, and it's called the Stuntman, and it's a fluke style bait. And they put a lot of thought into it. You know, the tail is not orientated horizontal, it's vertical. The body cavity split. It's very fluke-like, okay? But with the Z-Man treatment. But what's revolutionary here, this is a sinking Elastec. So if you go over there and you buy a scented jerk shad and you put a 3.0 hook in it and you throw it in the water, you know, it's going to do one of these. And as soon as you twitch it, it's going to pop to the surface. And, you know, while the scented jerk shad is an awesome, you know, jig head minnow, an awesome, I like it as a trailer in certain cases. It's a great fluke style bait, but you need a weighted hook. This is a sinking material. It's Elastec. but it's weighted. It's sinking. They finally figured out how to make a sinking Elastec. So put your hook in here, whatever size you want, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. This is the 5-inch. I'm sorry, but we don't have the 4-inch yet. And we're probably jumping the gun on this a little bit because there's really only 3 or 4 colors of these in stock. They shipped what they had. They're ahead of schedule. So I'm really expecting like within a week to get another big shipment. But this is cool. Okay. Now I was really hot on this from the get. I fished. I was given 1 4-inch bait, not a pack, a bait in bubblegum. I was given 1 5-inch bait in the siren color, which is real bright chartreuse. And I was given 1 5-inch bait in bubblegum, not a pack. I was given 3 baits and I fished them up until, like a week ago. And really and truthfully, if I would have took better care of them, I'd still be fishing them. But I was tired when I got home and I had a big ball of baits on the floor and it melted into something. My bad.
You ruined it.
I did. And no, the other one, I don't know. Just died a horrible death.
The interesting thing about this bait, and I'm a fluke nutcase. I fish. I love throwing them. I am taken up by it for years. I've been throwing. This goes back to the 90s when the Bass Assassin came out. And we started fishing it with the Bass Assassin, and so I've been fishing them for a long time. This thing sinks at a totally different rate than a lot of the other plastics out there. So you can fish it super fast. You can fish it deeper. You don't have to add swivels to it. I don't believe you have to put a swivel or any kind of additional weight to it at all, because it has a totally different sink rate than what's out there. So you can add this to your arsenal. And in different situations, it's easy just to take one off and put another one on and go right to this if you need to, like in current, for instance, and a lot of current, you'll get those big bows in your line and your lure will just, your fluke will just pop out of the water when you're trying to work it. This thing does not do that. It gets down right away, gets good penetration into the water, and it gets you that good action in a lot of current. The other thing that I think it's really going to shine is when you're lake fishing points and schools of bait fish and you're out there in those points and you want to get down. This is going to get down really nice and on a fluorocarbon, you're going to get this thing into some really good depths, and it's really going to work cool for that situation.
The other thing that I like about it is if you're fishing a herring lake, there's 2 things that you got to do on a herring lake. You have to cast your fluke a crazy distance, because those fish are so pressured. They're so smart. You have to cast that fluke, check that box, and then you fish it fast. A lot of times they just wind it back in. They don't even have time to twitch it. They just bomb it and burn it. Perfect for that. I really like it from my preliminary usage. This is going to go down as one of the greatest fluke baits ever made.
Yeah.
My humble opinion. So check it out. It's a Stuntman. I apologize. We're a little ahead of the curve on this one. We have a few colors. I think there's 3 or 4 or 5 colors in stock.
Yeah.
I would say in the very near future, we'll have the whole 4-inch line in. We'll have all the 5-inch colors in. We'll have big, thick pegs.
Yeah. All the rest of the octane minnows will be all stocked in there. And
there's more baits coming in this sinking formula, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
Hey guys, for the Stuntman there, obviously you guys love throwing fluke style baits. What size line do you like to throw for a fluke style bait?
I mean, I don't think it's totally critical. I mean, a lot of people fish a 10. A lot of the herring lake guys fish a 12.
Okay.
A lot of us Susquehanna River guys fish an 8. I don't think it's like totally critical. I think you can always go a little heavier than what you think you should be fishing. If you think you need to fish an 8, you're probably all right with a 10. If you think you need to fish a 10, you're probably all right with a 12. And what's nice about this bait, with the sinking nature of it, the thicker line's not going to hurt you at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So I would say err on the side of a little bit heavier line than you think you need. There's times and place for light line, We always talk about it in crankbait fishing, crank and cover. Why are you using 10-pound line? Okay. You're in rock, brush, cover. They call it cover for a reason. 15 minimum. Get the thing in there and knock it around, right? For shallow cranking.
Yeah.
Same thing with this fluke. There's really if you're fishing, on Hartwell during the herring spawning season and the post-spawn bass and they're schooled up, they don't give two flips if you have 8 or 12 on. You're burning this thing past their head at mock and they're attacking it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So don't be afraid to experiment with that, guys. Don't be afraid to get locked into your routine. That's what you should be afraid of. Some of the best fluke fishermen I ever fished with will not use a spinning rod. Some of the best fluke fishermen I ever fished with will not use a casting rod. Some of the best fluke fishermen I ever fished with will only nose hook their fluke. Well, they go through a lot of flukes.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. You nose hook that bad boy up. All right. You're good to go. All right. You are good to go. You put a nose hook through that fluke and you are good to go. You are not going to throw that off the hook or tear the nose out. So there's a lot of benefits. When we started this project back in the spring with Brandon and Rich, me and Joe were like, that one. And Joe pointed to the Octane minnow, that one. And we're cool. We had to there's other ones. There's other stuff we have to do. There's chatterbaits and there's jigs and whatnot. So check them out. Now, your Stuntman is a 5-count pack. Now, this is cool because there is a insert in here. These baits are kept perfectly straight, and they're in a tray. That's the word I'm looking for. There's a tray in here. So you can pull this bait out. You can put it in its little spot in the tray. Get it all nice and comfy there. And put that back in the bag. Zip it up. Every one of them's perfect in the tray. Put it right in your bag. Now you need 2 bags. You need a bag for your Octane minnows and you need a bag for your Stuntmen. All right.
Mark Joseph is asking if he would throw out on a straight braid in real heavy grass situations.
Why not?
I don't know if that's a bait I would throw in real heavy grass situations unless I was out on the outside edge of a grass, which I've had some great success on. So I probably wouldn't.
I would say, why not?
I would throw it, on a 12-pound fluorocarbon leader, braid to fluorocarbon leader.
Essentially you're frogging with it at that point.
Yeah. And that's not one I would throw for that situation.
I'd throw a frog, but that would work.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it, but it would work.
Yeah.
So that's the Stuntman. $7.99 for a 5-count. All right. Moving right along. And this is this next one. Did we do this last week?
No.
This?
No.
So this is the Mag Draft head. And this is kind of like the Octane minnow and the Stuntman in that we only have like 3 SKUs in stock. But the cool thing is they're all perfect for the 5-inch freestyle.
Which is kind of what you want to throw right now.
That's a 5-inch freestyle. And this is a 1/4 ounce 5/0 freestyle head. Let's look at one that's not on a bait. This head is pretty cool. This head is very well thought out. So, as you can see here, rigged and unrigged. We got a fluorocarbon keeper tied in on the shank of the hook. Real thick fluorocarbon cut. So when that baby digs in there, that locks that bait in and does pretty good job. And then we have how that bait fits in that little chin piece. Now we're skipping. We're swimming. We get a great swim out of this thing. Not really that much of it's not like this. It's more like this. Subtle. Head down, tail up, subtle, which is what makes this bait classic. But you want to crawl the bottom? How about some November cold water?
Slow
rolling on some shad eaters, some shad eating hogs.
Yeah.
Get the 6.0 hook one and put the 6-inch freestyle on it. So that is the 5/0 hook goes with the 5.0. The 6/0 hook goes with the 6.0. Look at this unique line tie here, guys. This line tie is not in the front or the top. This line tie is actually pointing back at the hook point. And that's where that ended up to give that proper swimming motion through all the
testing.
Yeah, prototyping. Look at that. And this, of course, is a really, look at that. Okay, she's sharp. So that, I'm telling you, a 5-inch freestyle.
I am really excited about that this fall, Nick.
On a 5/0
really
mag draft
super,
head.
Super excited. And it's not far away, Nick. Not far away at all.
Well, that's just one aspect of this concept.
Yeah, I know. That's like
that's your favorite one.
That's my favorite way of fishing those things. Is like,
I mean, you could be swimming this bad boy right now.
Yeah, you can, no doubt.
So that is for the freestyle mag draft 5-inch 5.0, 6-inch 6.0, 2-count 5.0 $8.99, 2-count 6.0 $9.99. Tons of sizes from a quarter to an ounce. Tons. I mean, you got like 5 or 6 sizes in 5.0 and 5 or 6 sizes in 6.0.
Yeah.
I do apologize. We are down to 3 or 4 sizes left in stock. But if you're fishing the 5-inch freestyle, we got you covered. And I also apologize. The next batch doesn't come until January. So I would recommend you plan your trip for Bass Fest now, which is the 8th and the 9th of January, and you'll be able to get your mag draft freestyle heads before anybody else.
Yeah.
Well, George, that's okay though, because early spring, that's a heck of a good bite too.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that setup, and you're fishing, one of the things I love to do, Mike and I, we in the fall and the early winter, we love to get on points that have shad present, and these big disruptors live there too, and they're on the bottom, and you can drag up. We always used a 4.8 Kitech on a 1/2 ounce or 3/8 ounce jig head. Now we got this.
Yeah, I'm excited about that
new
head.
toy, and the 6.0 hook on the 6-inch.
It's gonna scoot real good across the bottom, real slow roll. Really good.
I've seen some big smallies caught on that 6-inch on another jig head from Megabass, the Uzo swim jig that they make. Take the skirt off, put that big 6-inch on there, and I've seen some big, giant 7-pound plus smallies caught on that. Not around here, but up north in the fall, right before the ice locks the lakes up. So that's the mag draft head. Check them out. Good stuff. And the last thing we got for you tonight is a new line. So, if you fished some of the Sunline sinking braid, if you fish some of the Seagar JDM braid, and you love that small diameter and that suppleness on your spinning reel in the Sunline, you love the sinking aspect of it, or even the Overwatch, which is just that really fine. They're using a material that's not like the same material that you would use in like a regular braid. For lack of a better term, a regular braid is like a Microdyneema. This is an Izanis
Yeah.
fiber.
Yeah. Which is important.
It's very small.
Yeah.
It's very small. It's very strong, very, very small. That's why those lines are so thin. For example, this is Core. This is the Shimano version sinking. So the Core is the sinking. The Arrow is the standard. So they're 8 carrier braids. This has a high density core, solid strand that it's braided around. And the high density means that it has it's heavier than water. So it sinks. Pretty much how the other sinking braids like the Sunline sinking braid, which is phenomenal. This is equally as phenomenal. But one of the things that Shimano's doing here is they've decided that they need to change the way we evaluate the braid that we buy. I don't know if I totally agree with this or not. I totally get their point.
I understand. I understand where they're going with this style of line. You know what I'm saying?
I do, because most people who previously have bought for their first time the Seagar PE8 and who have bought the Overwatch or the sinking braid from Sunline.
You bought a 16-pound.
They're so thin.
Yeah.
If you bought like an 8-pound or a 10-pound,
yeah, or even a 16, they're super thin.
You're like, man, this stuff is so thin.
Yeah.
So what Shimano's doing is they are giving, and we're gonna have Nick zoom in on this label here. So I want you guys to be able to read this label, okay? So the PE rating on this particular line is 1.5. You see that PE 1.5? That's what this line's called. You call up, you say, hey, I want PE 1.5. Okay, PE is the initials for this material that the line's made out of. 1.5 is the number they assigned to that size. So a 1.5 means it has a minimum break strength of 16.5 pounds. It has an average break strength of 20.7 pounds.
25.
I'm sorry, 25.7.
Yeah.
So it has a minimum break strength of 16.5. And follow me, okay? Because I'm going to make a really good point here. It has a average break strength of 25.7. It's not going to break at 16.5. It's going to break at 25.7. But the diameter is 0.0075. Okay, so if you go over here and you buy a spool of Trilene XL 4-pound test mono, 4-pound test, that's 0.008. So we have a line that is essentially, we'll call it the same diameter as 4-pound test mono, that breaks at an average break strength of 25.7, has a minimum break strength of 16.5, and it sinks.
Yeah.
And it's highly visible in a pink color. Okay. So when you go onto the web page and you look up Shimano Core G9 and you get to our descriptions on that, go down to the tabs on the bottom and click on either, I think it's called details or specifics. And it'll bring up, it'll tell you, PE 0.8. Well, PE 0.8 has an 8-pound average and a 12.7, an 8-pound minimum and a 12.7 average and a 0.006 diameter. That's like 1 or 2 pound test mono. So, they're trying to make it so you buy the right braid. This is $25.99, which, by the way, for a 165-yard spool is right on spot with sinking braids.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're going to get years of use out of the line. So check it out if you're looking for a sinking braid.
Yeah. PE is, I think, where a lot of this is going to be going. You're going to be seeing this, and they're introducing PE, that rating, the PE rating, the 1.5, the 0.8, all the different ones, the point, all the different sizes. And what we have to do is we have to learn this now. And it's very confusing at first. And it's just like anything new. It's kind of confusing. It's like, what the heck does this mean? And when we were learning about this line and learning about everything, PE just kept confusing and really making things different and difficult to understand. And for them to put on there the minimum and average brake sizes, it's going to help us to finally realize that, hey, I want PE 1.5, and I know that I'm going back here looking for PE 1.5. It's going to become regular language. It's going to become second nature, but it takes some time to understand the PE. And I think Shimano is doing a phenomenal job at putting this information on the boxes to help us educate. George and I are crash coursing the whole PE line deal and really understanding what the PE line down the road and what it really is, so we can help our customers talk about this line a lot more freely. At first, when it first came out, we didn't know. Honestly, we didn't understand it, and
it's not that complicated. But the biggest thing is
it's not. But there were so many people that bought a 0.8 and were very disappointed in the line because they were popping off on hook sets.
Well, the other brands market it by standard pounds, and nobody else has a 0.8.
Yeah,
everybody else has a 8-pound test, 10-pound test, 12-pound test, 16-pound test.
Yeah.
What Shimano's doing here, to not to over freaking simplify this, what they're doing is they're taking and you're not going to buy by the pound test. You're going to buy by the PE rating.
Right. Exactly.
And I think in lines that are using this Izanis PE type material, that's going to become standard. Regular braid, that's not going to become standard because that's a different product.
Right.
That's
totally
braid,
different.
A whole different material.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
This line, what's nice about anything that is Izanis PE type lines, this is like, when do I buy these lines? Why would I buy these lines? Okay, so first of all, you buy these lines, you buy the sinking lines if you're a deep water fisherman. Because now your line is going on a more direct, it's coming off your rod, and it's going more directly to your bait. It's not going like this. Okay, it's not going like this. It's going more directly to your bait. Okay, whereas your floating lines in deep water come down, go this way for a while, and then go that way. Okay, so you're less direct. So the sinking lines help with that. And then the second reason for the PE style lines is for finesse fishing. Finesse fishing by nature is small, lightweight baits. The less drag that your line has in the water, the more efficient you are with finesse fishing. And almost to the man, every what I would call excellent fisherman who is a finesse fisherman will not use another type of line. There's a reason for that.
So, George, let me ask you something here. So, I'm going to take a trip up to, I'm naming it a name, Champlain, Ontario, whatever. And I want to fish deep water, 30 feet, 40 feet, whatever. I usually use 10-pound braid to a floral leader. What would you say? Would I be using a 1.5 or 1.2, you think?
I mean, I would go with a 1.5 or a 1.2. So the
Either one.
1.5 is going to be what if you bought it like the way you buy your braid?
Yeah.
It would say 25-pound test. Okay. And you'd be like, the problem is, and here's where people buy the wrong line. I don't need 33-pound test. I'm fishing a drop shot with a size 2 hook. Forget about the pound test. Okay. That's why they're initiating this PE. Look at the diameter.
Yeah.
And while you're back on this line wall, looking at diameters, like, oh, this is 0.0075 inch. And then go walking down the wall and find something that's close to that. And look at what it is that you recognize. And you're going to find out that the PE 1.5, which has a average break strength of 25.7, is thinner than the 10-pound braid you're using now.
Right.
Plus it sinks. So you're going to become a more efficient deep water angler.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's food for thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bass fishing world is going to buy a lot of the 1.2 and the 1.5. They make don't they make a 2.0, or is that in the
They
float?
do.
Yeah.
They do. They make a 2.0.
Yeah, they're going to buy like 1.2 on up, and then
I don't think you're going to go above a 1.5.
Right.
I don't think you're going to go above a 1.5.
Yeah.
I think the sweet spot is the 1.2 and the 1.5.
yeah, that's going to be your sweet spot. That's I was talking.
Even the 1 point. Now the thinner lines. Well, you say, well, why do we carry the thinner lines?
Yeah, well, I mean that's the other.
Not everybody's bass fishing.
That's right, and this BFS thing's really coming on strong, so that you may go to a 1.0
Or a 0.8.
or a 0.8.
How about if you're a hardcore pan fisherman?
Right.
How about if you're a trout fisherman?
Trout guy, which is one of the things that we were looking at it for, was because I don't like a lot of braid for trout fishing, but this with the core might be the deal, So I just, well, all we're saying is it's a learning curve just to understand the PE a little bit.
Well, what I would like to say is don't get hung up on the PE.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, I mean, I think you should understand the
It's right there.
I understand that, but you got to understand the difference between PE and regular braid. It's totally different. It's not even in the same category. And that's where a lot of our guys got messed up with when it first came out. None of us knew. We never knew. We were buying, oh my God, this stuff is so thin. Look at this stuff. It's great.
Well, if you buy your line according to diameter, you can't make a mistake. Now, here's another thing about line. You get real comfortable with the line that you use, and rightfully so. And if you decide to try a different line, we're living in a world right now, a fishing world, where we have got ridiculous amounts of choices in every single piece of tackle that we want to use.
Yeah.
From our line to our hooks to our baits. I mean, if you go back on this line wall and you look at the braids, it's going to take you about an hour. Okay. And there's things you need to learn about them. Well, I'll tell you the best way to really know, hey, what kind of benefits am I going to get from a sinking braid? Okay. Well, that's what we just discussed. That's good primer, but there's only one way to know. Get a spool, load it up,
Fish it.
and fish it for the rest of the season. Now, when you're loading a PE braid, let's talk about this. Everybody who is watching on the computer right now or on your 75-inch big screen TV, whatever you're watching on,
I don't think they can stand us on a 75.
you know,
Big screen.
take a minute
Be like a
and
horror
pay
movie.
attention to this, because this will save you a lot of money. When you go to fill your reel with a PE line, is when you're going to understand what the diameter of the line means. Okay, so what do I mean by that? All right, let's look at a PE 1.5 with a 0.0075 diameter. Now, let's remember what I said about the 8-pound test trilene that has a 0.008 diameter for 4-pound test trilene, 0.008. So a 1.5 PE is slightly under that. So we're going to call it 4-pound test.
And we're going to put it on a 2,500 reel.
So now what I want you to do is I want you to look at your spool, and I want you to see what your capacity is for, say, an 8. So it's probably going to be about, we'll just keep the numbers, we'll round them off, 180. So your reel holds 180 yards of 8. You have 165 yards of 4. So you're going to need to put some backing on, right? So if you do the math like this. My reel holds 180 yards of 8, which means my reel holds 200 yards of 6, which means my reel holds 225 yards of 4. Okay? I have 165 yards of 4. I need 225 yards of 4. That means I need to put 60 yards of backing on.
For the whole spool.
For the whole spool. So that's going to be, in my experience, winding these lines, because you want them tight. Whenever I do that simple math, that just tells me 1/3, 2/3, whatever on the spool. So, 60 yards of 8 is 1/3 of a spool. I'm immediately going to put 1/2 of a spool on. Okay, my math got me close, but now I know if I'm at 1/3 of a spool or slightly over, I'm going to fill my spool halfway with backing. Because what I want you to do is, with this line, is I want you to put this line on very tight. Okay? So take a towel, okay? Put the rod butt on your leg, grab the reel on the spinning reel, pinch the rod in your hand right below the stripper guide, the bottom guide. Put a little bit of an S turn in that towel and squeeze it. Now you can really control the tension. And I want you to make it tight. And what you're doing is you're packing that line on that spool. And when you do that, you're setting yourself up for success. That's the best possible performance that you can get out of, whether it's PE or whether it's a Micro Dyneema like a Power Pro. Tight. You would never do that with a fluorocarbon. You would never do that with a mono. But this you want tight. So that's why you want a little more backing on there than what you think. And it's okay if your spool ends up a little low, because this stuff is so wispy in the air that it'll cast over that spool lip. Don't freak out if you missed it by 20 yards. Okay? It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, if you come into the shop here, or another, if you live in an area where you have a shop like ours, we'll wind it for you right off this pack, and it'll be, ready to roll. But if, for you guys rigging at home, I know a lot of you don't live near a shop.
Yeah, you'll be surprised how full your spool is when you start putting on a 1.5, a 0.007 diameter. You'll be surprised how full your spool is when you start putting that on there.
I thought it was a good discussion to have, and I hope you got something out of it. Now, the next time we're going to talk about the Arrow.
Yeah.
And that's their standard PE line. Very competitive product with the Yozuri the Seaguar PEA 8 and the Overwatch from Sunline. Those are, you're talking about some primo line. What you got, Nick?
Well, I'm glad you brought up this core because this sinking line and the finesse approach of it is bigger than most people are really ready for, because it doesn't take everybody that's listening right now or watching. No matter what fishery you're fishing, you're seeing fish starting to get more skittish. They're not. You're hearing people going, we can't even catch them with shaking the minnow anymore. They're, you might have to cast a 10 instead of every one now. It's going to get worse. So this finesse approach is going to put you ahead of the game over everybody else. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
You talk to the pros and they're like, hey, this is the stuff that's coming.
Yeah.
And when you first hear about it, that's when you want to get into it, because otherwise a year from now, you're going to go, I remember when these guys talked about it.
Yeah.
And now it's a big thing. Take advantage of it now while everybody else is like,
yeah, get the edge on
that's what you got to do.
Get the edge.
I would encourage, you guys, and there's a lot of you. I talk to a lot of you who are, so passionate and so serious about your game. If you haven't experienced a sinking braid, you need to. And now we have, in addition to the Sunline All Might, we now have Shimano Core. And I got to tell you, I believe Mike and Nick actually already made some casts with this at our iCast event on a lake.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys were out there with Robert G throwing some stuff around.
Yeah,
It's kind of interesting how you guys just completely disappeared and abandoned me.
We went rogue
In a G Loomis Asquith fly rod presentation. Okay.
Robert
Just
G,
completely bailed on my ass.
Robert G, who you wouldn't think is into this kind of stuff. He's really into this PE
He's
stuff.
dialed in.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, and listen, I don't use it on a lot of stuff. He says, but I have to have it.
Yes.
I have to have it on my reels. I have to have the core, and I have to have the arrow. He said I have to have it, and then I had him explain to me how he's thinking about it and what he's doing with it. And I had a great conversation with him when we were at this special Shimano event that we got invited to. He really broke it down and explained to me how important this PE line is going to be in the future and where it's going.
So I'll tell you this, Mike.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, I'm going to be going up to the St. Lawrence for something with Skeeter, and he's going to be up there because they're going to be fishing up there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go up to him.
Yeah.
A tournament weigh in or whatever. And I'm going to say, hey, are you using core? Guarantee you.
Oh, I guarantee you.
Guarantee it.
In that situation,
Guaranteed.
Absolutely.
you're in current and deep.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a double equalizer.
And I have a challenge for anybody who fishes with forward facing. Take your current braid, throw it out, watch your lure sink. Start reeling and watch what your lure does. I guarantee you it's going to come straight up.
Yep.
Now, get yourself some sinking braid, do the same test and see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It'd be totally different.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, but from you to your lure, your regular braid is sinking, and then it's parallel to the bottom for a while, and it's down. And the reason
It's like
when
your vertical
you
jigging.
twitch it like this, your bait's not twitching towards you; it's twitching straight up and down like your vertical jigging.
jigging. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. One more thing for you. It's a one-liner. Just so happened to receive a little care package from Hide Up, including some 13 millimeters, which we haven't seen in his shop in over a year. And if you're a smallmouth guy, you might want to check that out. You got to call, okay? Our web page for Hide Up is it's having a Tourette's attack. So you have to call. You can't order these online. Give us a call. We got a nice little chunk, but we shipping a ton of them right now. So if you want them, call tomorrow morning first thing, and you'll get some. We have some cool colors in stock. We have some watermelon. We have a watermelon with black and real light blue flake. We have a real subtle green pumpkin candy that is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
We have a Scuppernog, of course.
Yeah. That which is awesome.
So
One of Nick's favorites.
Hide Up Koikis, the OGs.
Nick's been knocking the hell out of them on these things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Nick's been knocking the hell out of them on these urchin baits, man. Just over the last couple of weeks, man.
You got to try them.
Yeah,
Got to
absolutely,
try them.
absolutely.
Pretty cool stuff, fellas.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the tournament season's back in action, and George and I actually fished our Bubba Scale tournament on Sunday, and had a good time doing that against our local hammers. So it's more the bragging rights than anything, and the trash talking that goes along with it. I think George and I enjoy that more than fishing a dang tournament, but
We only like to talk about it though when we get a check.
yeah. But we fished against those boys, on their water, and
Whoa.
yeah.
We have 50 years of experience on
Yeah, I
their
know,
water.
I know, but
You might want to call it our water.
they live like right on it, and they're all out there all the time fishing, and George and I, there again, we just showed up and started fishing and figured out a nice little bite and got on a really good bite.
And we dropped a hammer.
And we didn't win, but
No, we didn't.
But we feel like we won because of we came in second place, and
It was awesome.
it was just great to get on a little bite like that, and more importantly, trash talk some of the guys that we beat.
And we did that
and we beat.
Well, you got to.
We beat those hammers, and it was
unmercifully.
It was great.
So I got to ask you guys a question though. Was it more so for you guys
Yeah.
about location or about technique?
Now it was 50-50. Like the fish were where they were. But they had to be the better fish. And you'll find this a lot in the summer. And I don't care where you fish. You'll find a lot in the summer, especially in the dog days. I mean, what do we do in the dog days? What do we do? Okay, if we're on a lake, we run to the back of the creek. We run back until we knock a blade off our prop, bust a skeg. Then we're happy, and we get a square bill out, right? What do we do? We throw a buzz bait or a plopper on a shade line. We put the trolling motor on 100, and we try to kill the batteries. About 3 miles later, we got 5 good fish, right? It's a power fisherman's dream come true. All right, you're just not going to catch good fish any other way in shallow water in August. So, we went with the big 3: crankbait, chatterbait, spinnerbait, and
top water. Yeah.
and put the trolling motor on high and rolled.
That's
so,
a great way to catch them, though.
I mean, listen, you're like, you're covering so much water. If you're fishing in August in shallow water, trying to catch some fish on finesse baits, by the time you make your cast, I've made 3 casts, right? And I'm 2 boat lengths down the bank. An hour later, I'm a mile. Oh, I've covered a mile, right? So it's just a percentage game.
Well, not only that, Nick. We showed up in fish an area where we haven't fished all year actually, and yes, we know the water and we know it well, but we still have to determine what's going on in a very short period of time, and putting the trolling motor down and grinding and just really and really covering that water helps you with figuring out that pattern. If you slow down right away and throw a Ned rig or a finesse jig, which will catch your fish, you're just never going to figure out exactly where those fish are and what they're doing. Whereas with those power fishing, you can really cover all that water and really check the intricacies out to see exactly what mood the fish are in. And that's what we did. We had to do it because we didn't have the knowledge of what was going on because we weren't there.
So when you're on the water, you don't have, we can play Monday morning quarterback now.
Yeah.
But when you're in the moment, you got to make the decision.
Exactly.
But as you do look at from a Monday morning quarterback point of view, would you have done anything different?
I don't think so. I guess the only thing we would have done was stayed where we were at. At towards the end of the term, we had 2 hours left, and we thought we need a big fish, and which
I
we
wouldn't
did.
have done anything different.
We in which we did.
That's good.
So we went and tried to get a big fish in some other areas that we knew, and just kind of popped around a couple areas. But the only thing that I think George even said it. He said, the only thing we could have changed was just stayed up there, and just hope for another 3 pounds.
I mean, the thing I love about tournament fishing is the decision making.
Oh yeah.
we
I
did,
mean,
we did
everybody
really good.
Everybody can catch fish. Okay, that's a given. But not everybody can make decisions, and that's why you always have winners and losers. We didn't win, but we felt like we won because we made really good decisions. Now, we had some issues,
I knew this was going
I
to
didn't
come
hear
up.
this
we had
one.
some issues.
I knew this was going to come up.
We had some issues.
Yeah.
It was an expensive day,
Uh-oh.
but that's okay.
And it's an ongoing
It's okay.
argument with that. But
It's okay. It doesn't matter. It
the fir-
doesn't matter because
the first thing,
the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. I mean, we took a beating.
yeah,
Okay, we took a beating.
We didn't lose a rod and reel.
Well, we didn't lose it. But technically, we still have it.
yeah,
It's worthless, but we didn't lose it.
it's devastating.
And multiple baits. I mean, it was
Yeah,
just one of them days.
it was devastating.
costly.
Well,
the
it all started.
The law of averages will catch up to you eventually.
It all started, at about 11 o'clock when the heat really started coming on, right?
Oh, yeah.
It started getting hot, and my man needs some water. My man needs to hydrate, and he's really good at hydrating. He'll drink 10 bottles of water on a really hot day, and that's no bullcrap. He's a hydration machine, which is great.
It's awesome.
It's what you got to do. Well,
And if your fishing partner who has one job to do
I
can't
did.
even do that,
I did. He said, make sure you get coffee and water. And I'm like, yeah, I got that, man. I'm already on it.
I
And
did everything else.
I put it in the back of my truck, and we get up there, and we're running a little late.
Not really.
We're running just a fuzz hair late. And I was like, getting my stuff out of the truck and loading up, and he's sitting in the driver's seat ready to roll. And I got everything out. I gave him the coffee. Here's your coffee, bro. Went back, got this, got that. And I forgot to get the water. And at 11 o'clock, my man says, oh, man, I'm going to get a water. I'm going to water up. And I'm like, oh, shoot. Ah, man, I forgot it in the back of my truck. He goes, oh, no, what are we going to do? He said, so about 11:30, he says, well, maybe if you just take the boat up and park it on the boat ramp and you sit with the boat,
There's nothing wrong with
I'll
that.
run up to the sheets and get some water, and then I'll just come back.
Oh, it's not like you're breaking any laws. You're not fishing.
So you think we should? So I said, well, let me call the tournament director. So, here's the tournament director thing. Back to the tournament director, having to handle these calls. I call the tournament director, and he gets back with me and says, oh man, that wouldn't be a problem. But we're right below you. Once you come down, we got lots of water in the cooler.
That was more better.
So that was great. So we went down, and they tossed us 7 waters, and so we were hydrating.
We're good.
And George got back on his game, and George caught all. I think I did catch. Now that I think about it, I think I had 1 of the 4.
Whatever makes you feel good, Mike.
But we caught a lot of fish. But George finally he came in strong. and
But
caught-
this water run made you leave your area, right? Is that
That's
what you guys-
okay. We came right back.
You were good with that.
It was eyesight.
yeah.
So then what?
But then then we broke a complete.
No, don't go into that.
Yeah, we
Don't
broke
go into that.
we broke a rod.
Don't go into that.
We broke a rod and reel that just really
Don't go into that.
that
On a
we're
big one.
Trying
Don't
to,
go into that.
trying to figure out who broke it and argue
All right.
back and forth. But
I'm gonna call an audible here and change topics. This is getting a little redundant. Nick
Yeah.
and Mike, I know you both fished Redmans.
Yeah.
And, well, maybe not Redmans,
The
but
BFLs.
I know you both fished BFLs.
Yeah.
And I think Mike might have fished some Redmans
I fished red bands.
and BFLs. And I certainly fished plenty of each. But you know what's interesting? And I'm a big Boyd Duckett fan. And these guys Have you seen what they're doing next year?
We're doing buddy tournaments or something.
The BFL format for 27. I wrote this. This is pretty impressive. Pay attention. This is pretty impressive. You can fish. It's a team circuit, but you can fish solo, just like most team tournaments. You can fish solo. It's a 5-fish limit. You're not breaking any laws
That's nice.
if you want to. So you can fish team or solo. It's a $500 entry fee. But check this out. I'm going to rip through a few comments here that I think are staggering. There is 20 divisions, which there's pretty much 20 divisions now. There's going to be 5 regions. So you have, roughly 4 divisions per region. I'm sure some regions will have 3 and some more populated regions will have 5. Like I always fished in the old days, the Northeast, then it turned into the Mid-Atlantic, right? And we had 5 tournaments. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. So
it's still that way. 20 divisions and 5 regions. So roughly 5 tournaments per division. Well, not roughly. That's what it is. If you win a tournament, so let's say me and Mike are a team partner, and we win a tournament, or if you're in the top 30 teams at the end of the season from your division, okay? So the winners plus of every tournament. So you could have 35 teams theoretically from one division. If each tournament's won by a different team, and then they go down to the top 30, you could have 35 teams from a division. Okay, tournament winners plus top 30 teams go to 1 of 5 no entry fee All-Americans.
that's pretty cool.
Wait, All Americans or championships?
All-Americans.
Jeez.
I like that.
So now we have 5 All-Americans. The All-American was like
Gosh, that's a huge, huge tournament.
that was a
iconic tournament.
that was an iconic tournament for the working man.
Yeah.
Now there's 5 of them.
don't
And I got to
understand.
tell you, as we take a pause to digest,
So 30,
I like it.
30 boats plus
The winner of every tournament.
the winner of every tournament, which is another 5.
Well,
so,
it could be. The same guy could
well,
win
he
all 5
could.
of them.
He could. So upwards of 35 or
Upwards
36.
of 35.
Yeah. Tournament boats.
The team fishes the All-American.
So,
Well, whoever
yeah,
wins.
the team.
The team.
Or unless you're fishing solo.
So
Yeah. Whoever
So
you
each
are.
division has an All-American.
wow,
So you're talking 35 teams max.
that's pretty cool, actually.
That's
well,
crazy.
First place at each one of those All-Americans is an All-American Phoenix 21 with a 250
Golly.
valued at $120,000.
Jeez.
That's worth fishing.
Plus, there's a payout.
Jeez.
Wow.
And the regular season tournament payouts don't suck. Let's see if I was smart enough to write that down. I don't think I was.
I heard what you're guaranteed for each tournament.
It depends on how many boats show up. They have a 150 payout and they have a 225 payout.
Yeah, but no matter what, no matter how many people get into it, it's guaranteed 10,000 for first place.
That would be right because 150 boats is 15,000, and if you're driving a Phoenix, it's a $7,000 Phoenix bonus.
Wow.
Phoenix is in bed big time, and rightfully so
Mm-hmm.
with MLF because guess what? They're paying the cha-ching.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the other thing. No electronics restrictions.
Wow.
You can have 19 freaking forward-facing sonars and eight 360s.
Well, that'll
if
be
you want.
perfect for you, George. You're sponsored by all the mates.
Every company out there.
You're in.
They all want me.
Well, let me
They
just
all
tell
want
you
me,
this.
and I have them all.
I actually think they're on to something because I know I've watched the social media and there's guys complaining because they like the tradition of the BFL, the Red Man, and I get it. But in all reality, they were starting to dwindle.
Sure.
And with the team format, you're splitting costs, you're breaking down water together.
It's a $500 entry fee.
It's not a bad deal.
$250 each.
Yep.
Now, look, time stands by for no man.
Mhm.
Evolution occurs. These guys, under a different ownership group, started the rider co-angler concept, which I remember saying was genius. No longer will I be boater paired together. Back in the old days, it was a freaking draw, man. Boat on boat,
I can't.
boater on boater.
Hmm.
And it didn't always go well. But when they came up with the concept of rider, boater, pro, co-angler, whatever you want to call it, I don't really care. I feel like if you fish the BFLs, no offense, you're not a pro. Okay, you're still going to work on Monday. That's why you drive your ass home late on Sunday night after the tournament. Okay, you're a pro at what you do. What you do is BFLs. I'm not trying to diminish how awesome it is, but you're not a freaking pro. And they're like, and now from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, the Skeeter Yamaha Pro. No, man. I run a tackle shop, dog. I'm a pro at that.
You know, with this though, do you think we're taking another morph too in the last couple of years? Your pros, you used to do draw tournaments.
Yeah.
Then it went to, we don't really want to do that. 'Cause
No.
it was bad.
We didn't like that at all.
Then it went to co-anglers.
Jimmy don't like that.
But what you're seeing
I
now-
love that.
What you're seeing now, and I know you're not a fan of this, Mike, but
Yeah.
you're seeing pros today not want co's.
Oh yeah.
You're seeing the opens with no co's.
Yeah.
You're seeing some not BFL, but the Bass Pro
Toyotas.
stuff, not with no pros. This gives your co's and pros an opportunity to work together for the same goal.
Well, there is no co and pro.
But I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're working together.
Now,
Yeah.
one of you has
As
to
a
sign
team.
up as the
Pro.
partner, the boss, because guess what? If you win one of them All-Americans, the boater goes to the Red Crest,
Really?
and his partner goes to the Toyota Series Championship.
That's pretty cool either way.
Oh, my
Right.
gosh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, Red Crest, you're fishing for $300,000.
That's crazy. That's
So
worth
this
fishing.
is just as revolutionary. Hear me out, guys. As when FLW came up with the concept of boater co-angler and how beautiful and clean that was. I'm not competing against you. You have no decision-making power. You're not allowed on the front deck. We're not competing against each other. You're competing against the co's. I'm competing against the pros. We should work together.
So George, when that first happened, because you were in the
I freaking loved it.
draw, when you first heard that, were you like, "Oh, this
This
game
is
changer."
beyond great.
Yeah.
Because the number one thing I didn't like about tournament fishing in the draw days was just that.
Because you didn't know if you were going to be the co-angler or the.
Well,
the
I mean,
boater.
you were going to be, you got half the time running the trolling motor at your spots, but you had to be like, stand up for yourself. I mean, listen, dog,
Slug
this
fest
is where
on the
we're
boat.
going. Okay. And I always used to try to figure it out before we left. Just like I talked to many people who fish like in bass clubs or fish in, tournaments that were not, co-angler boater, which there's none now other than maybe a bass club event. If it was, you drew a guy in a bass club, I was like, hey, you got any game plan? You got anything you want to do? No, I'm good. I'm just along for the ride. Okay. I got a pretty good game plan, but at 11 o'clock when we haven't caught anything, do not bring up your ideas.
I'm glad you brought this up, George, because I never got to fish them, but my dad got to fish the Foxwood series.
Yeah.
And he always talked about how cool that series was, that you got to work with your partner, and it was just really, really cool. And something like this really reminds me of that opportunity for a lot of people. And what you told me about Red Crest opportunities and All-American opportunities, that's
Dude,
pretty wild.
I'm talking about putting a new skeg and prop on the old Skeeter and signing her up, baby.
Yeah.
Putting some shine on that gel coat. That's pretty cool.
I love that.
That was the first thing I wanted to bring up, guys, and great discussion on that. The second thing I wanted to bring up, and this one hits a little closer to home. You know, for those of you who are new to our show, and I've seen some comments that indicate you are, you know, we are geographically located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. For those of you from out of the area, that is kind of what we call mid-Atlantic. So we're like 2.5 hours from DC. We're an hour and 45 minutes from Philly. We're an hour and a half from Baltimore. And next week, the Starlink Team Series, which is a Bass Pro Major League Fishing, the team series, is in Charles County, Maryland. Now, they don't tell you the body of the water, but anybody that has fished in this area long enough to know Charles County, Maryland is the Potomac River. And then they have this rule that I found interesting. It's anywhere within 60 miles of Charles County, Maryland. Well, Charles County, Maryland is pretty big. So is it 60 miles from here? Or is it 60 miles from there? Or is it... So I'm thinking, well, hell, that's pretty interesting. So it could be on Lake Anna.
What, you can fish anywhere 60 miles, or they're gonna choose the water 60 miles from Charles.
You
County.
don't know where you're going till the morning of the tournament.
Oh, and they might say, oh,
and every day they can change.
Oh,
they might say you're going to the Potomac.
I like it.
What tournament? What tournament's that?
Have you been paying attention?
I did, but you got me all confused now.
It's the Starlink
series.
Starlink's the sponsor.
Yeah, which is what?
Major League Fishing.
Bass Pro Tour.
Bass Pro Tour.
No, it's the Major League Fishing Team Series. Bass Pro Tour's done for the year.
Oh, this is a team series.
Holy shit.
I don't know, man. I can't follow all this shit.
I think that's cool, though.
Don't worry about it. So I'm thinking about Charles County, Maryland, because I kind of know my way around Charles County, Maryland. And I'm like, well, they could be on the Potomac, and they could break the Potomac down. It's only 12 teams. So you could say, well, you know, today you're fishing from, we're launching the Nanjamoy, and you can fish from the 301 bridge to Mattawoman.
Yeah.
And you don't know till you get there. Now, all these guys have fished the Potomac like 25 times during their career. So if they're driving down freaking 301, they kind of got an idea where they're going.
It still puts you on the spot, though.
You could go to Anna.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I wonder how far Charles County extends, and would 60 miles get you to like the James?
It could. I think.
I don't know how far it extends.
But that's like old school Major League Fishing where you just don't know where you're going.
And that's what the team series
I
is.
Like
I know you guys have watched the team series.
Yep.
The reruns are on every day of the week. I know you guys have watched it. So that is
throw you in a Chesapeake Bay.
I don't know.
They might.
We'll see. Because
It's 60. It's a 60-mile.
Yeah, that's Chesapeake Bay.
I don't know. I can't. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know the boundaries of Charles County, Maryland.
Well,
George, it's pretty cool.
You were throwing things out at you.
You were talking about tournament fishing and making decisions. That's the ultimate decision.
It is the ultimate.
I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah.
And they give you a map in the morning, and they say, "Here's your boundaries. Giddy up."
How do you get in that?
Well, first you have to be on the Bass Pro Tour.
Oh, okay.
And then you have to be one of the 12 sponsors' chosen anglers.
Oh. So there's no way to get in that. That'd be
You
fun.
could be, if you're a really good friend of Johnny Morris, you're probably going to get in.
We can go fish against him. We just won't be in the tournament.
I got his autograph on my lure back there.
So that's the 16th through the 21st, which I found interesting.
Cool.
That's next week. So we're going to watch the Elite Series the rest of this week. We're going to watch that next week. But guess what else I got to talk about, guys? And I know you're going to love this. Me and Mike watched the last stage 7 of the Bass Pro Tour out of Sandusky. And awesome. I enjoyed it.
That was awesome.
I really enjoyed it. Because I fished out of Sandusky more than once, and it was just like, kind of, it's
I love the what do you call that? The strategy. Oh yeah. That's what I liked about it. I like the strategy because George kind of nailed it on the head right away. He said, you know, this could be just a guy going largemouth fishing and catching like a shit ton of largemouth because it was everything over 2 pounds, right?
Yeah.
So you can go catch like 100 largemouth
So
at 2 pounds.
And what Mike's getting at, guys, is
Yeah, you know.
like when we broke this down, what Mike's getting at is there's no conceivable way on earth you can win a tournament on Lake Erie with largemouth,
Yeah,
except for one.
yeah, everything counts.
Everything counts over 2 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way with the 5 bass limit.
right,
Right. And if you
Right.
saw what Cole Floyd did,
Floyd, yeah, the first day.
I mean, and the second day.
And the second day.
He outdid the first day, the second day.
Yeah.
You know, and again, he won the knockout round and then didn't fish the third day. I think that rule sucks. And I think whoever wins the knockout round made a horrible mistake.
Really?
And you'll notice Jacob Wheeler no longer wins the knockout round.
It's not worth it.
You can't fish.
Oh, okay.
You can't fish.
Can't keep up with the fish.
You can't fish. You have to fish. He won it. He got in a pissing match with a guy from Texas. And he's like, well, I'm winning this sumbitch. Well, guess what? Congratulations. You won practice. And you were off the water when the wind blew. Okay, shit changes. But my point is, it's all strategy. He could have been right. But what we discussed was this is the only format, because if you go to Lake Erie, you guys might have never been to Lake Erie, or you might have only been smallmouth fishing. You go in any bay, any marina, it is full of largemouth. And I mean, they are willing to bite.
Oh yeah, look at Presque Isle Bay, man, loaded.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate.
Yeah,
That's like the ultimate explanation. I'm talking about like a big, deep bay that
So-
kind of goes up in there a ways.
Yeah. So George, to your point on the first day, second day, whatever leading up, you got these guys with these huge weights. Is it really not even worth getting to that weight when you really think about it? Because
All you got to do is get in the cut.
you're burning your fish
All you got to do is get in the cut.
yeah.
when you didn't need that extra 30 pounds.
But you don't really know.
Where did Floyd end up, George?
Top 10. I mean, he ended up like 6th or 7th. I didn't write it down. Sorry, my bad. But I get Nick's point. But to Nick's point, on day one, you don't really know because he caught 87 pounds in an hour.
Right.
2 hours.
I'd be putting my rods down right now.
Right. But if you catch 87 pounds in 2 hours, that means in the next 2 periods, somebody else can catch 87 pounds in the next 2 hours.
Well, no, I agree with you, but here's the thing.
And then you have to reactivate.
20 other people aren't.
Well,
There was a bunch of them catching them.
what Floyd did is he went looking.
And it's
He kind of pulled off.
I
Those
mean, I
fish and
get
went
what you're
looking.
saying. He did. He caught 87 pounds in the first period, and then he caught 2 fish for the rest of the day.
So he did. He tried.
He did. No, he did.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah,
third,
he did. He even said he was.
and
he,
then
even
yeah,
said
he said, I'm out. I'm going to go see if I can get lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He found something.
Go pre.
He went back to that the second day and caught 97 pounds in 2 hours.
Same area or different area?
Different area.
Totally different.
Yeah,
Holy smokes.
yeah.
And he's like, well, this is better than the other
Well, now
spot.
he's
Yeah.
thinking he's got 2 areas that are just filthy.
But these
loaded.
areas were so vast that he did a grid pattern on them. So he literally like boom, 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 till he came across a concentration of fish.
What techniques was he using?
One chatterwagon.
Chatterwagons.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe
he
that's
was
something.
well,
He was
no,
using
he,
a,
he used a 10-inch worm too.
Once he whacked about 40 pounds on the chatterwagon,
Yeah.
then he picked up a 10-inch worm and just caught him
Yeah.
on every
Cleaned him up.
cast.
He caught a 5-pounder.
He
Really?
caught a 5-pounder and
And-
2 4s.
And then 2 like big 4s.
That's big fish.
Yeah, for largemouth.
It was great,
Yeah.
but I got to tell you,
Yeah.
guys, this is what I got. I even have it highlighted in the book. I love this stuff. Check this out. Justin Lucas won it, right?
Yep.
So here's some things we have to talk about real quick, because we're going to get off the air. Justin Lucas won the last tournament on Lake Erie, which was an FLW, and he beat Jacob Wheeler by 1 ounce.
Oh,
Justin Lucas won this tournament on Lake Erie, which was the only other time he's been to Lake Erie since then. And he beat Jacob Wheeler, who finished in second place. But he won this time. He won by
He freaking hammered him.
18 pounds.
And if I heard right,
he
same
caught-
spot.
No,
No,
one spot was the same.
One spot was
Yeah,
the same.
Yeah.
He had those couple lighthouses that he
Yep.
caught big hammers off of,
He-
but he caught a 6. What was that big fish?
6'11".
A 6'11".
That's
and
crazy.
and 4 others over 5.
Yeah, his bag that day.
In one period.
Yeah, his bag that day would have been 30 what, George?
Oh, he would have had
It was over 30 pounds.
of Smallies for his best 5.
For his best 5.
But he had now Jake Lawrence, Cole Floyd on day 2, he backed off at 97 pounds in one period. He backed off.
At one period.
Okay. Justin Lucas had 98.11 of Smallies. And
He hit the mother load.
you know how he catches them when he goes to Lake Erie?
Drop shot, right?
He only does one thing. Drop shot. He only uses one bait. Flatworm.
Hey, it works.
That's it. He's a purple bag guy. I just thought
That's crazy. That was awesome how
I just thought, man, we're talking about this on this show.
Well, I got to ask you guys something with this. So you're watching the video, you're watching it go down. Are you seeing anything that you're familiar with while you're watching?
No, not me. I've never been there.
Oh, you haven't?
I'm in
I
Sandusky.
haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Where he was catching those fish off that first channel marker.
Mhm.
That was over by the Detroit River. That's when you're new to Lake Erie and you come out of Sandusky and you head to the Detroit River, it's probably 50 miles. And there's a portion of time when you don't see anything. You're just following your GPS. And when you're new to that big water like that, once you've done it a couple times, you're like, yeah, whatever. But when you're new to it, you're there's a bunch of stressors in your life. You know what I mean? The thing about Lake Erie with smallmouth and Lake Ontario and any Great Lake, any big body of water, even the inland sea on Champlain where the elite guys are fishing, it doesn't take much. Because if you find a rock, that is a whole biosphere. That's where the bait wants to be. And then, the perch eat the bait. That's where they want to be. And then the bass eat the bait and the perch. That's where they want to be, And I always tell the story about Ryan Buttermore and I just randomly stopping the boat after taking a major ass whooping on Lake Ontario and having a serious need for the call of nature.
Yeah.
And the live scope was on. And I jumped up front and threw the trolling motor in the water, hit spot lock, and it kind of spot locked. Like, holy shit. We literally dropped it on top of a giant rock
You were on them.
that had like a Garmin catalog screenshot on it. And to this day, every time we go back there, we catch a 25-pound bag off that rock. Totally random. But there was nothing else. When you expand on that area, there was nothing else anywheres around. And that's how the Great Lakes are, whole. That's why, when you run out in the middle of Ontario and you get on the Duck Islands, there's nothing else out there. There might be a rock here or there, but other than that, it's just a freaking smooth ass bottom. And then you get where there's, a contour break and some cover. You get when you put structure and cover together.
That's why those areas are always going to be good.
And that's why Justin Lucas excels at Lake Erie. He's like, look, I know this is good. There's nothing else around here other than this, and this has rock. I know this is good.
Mm-hmm.
And he was right.
The other thing
He even pointed out, Nick, you're going to love this.
Yeah.
The fish moved around it as the shade line moved.
And you always talk about the shade line.
You got to have shade. Smallies are shade. Smallie. Here's the difference between a smallie and a largemouth. A largemouth is the guy that's hiding in the alley and mugs you when you walk by in New York City because, man, Danby defunded the police and there's nobody there to save you. So that's the largemouth. The smallmouth is the guy that's like him and his buddies chase your ass down and beat your ass for your last nickel. They go to you.
Yeah, they're aggressive.
They're bass, but this bass relies on people like Mandambi, and this bass is a freaking fighter pilot.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Totally
And
different.
that's just how it is.
Pretty wild.
Yep.
I did take notice too that Burge, by the end of the last day, he's just like, yeah, I did what I needed to do. I'm good.
My man just
Have
just
at it.
yeah.
Yeah.
What a year. 400,000+ in
Yeah,
winnings.
He had a heck of a year. But
So the
pretty
last
cool.
thing, guys, we need to touch on, and I know we're getting a little long, but you know what? We're going to touch on it anyways. It's America. We can make free decisions. Elite Series at Champlain.
Oh,
Quick
yeah.
observations because we got 3 more days. Look, this and the next one are the 2 most important tournaments of the year.
No doubt.
We have requalifications on the line. So, in other words, your boss comes up to you at work tomorrow and says, Mike, depending on how you do the next 2 weeks, you might get fired
Mm-hmm.
because you're just not having that year that we want you to have. We know you're a good guy, Mike. We do. We really do. We love you to death, and we know you got kids to feed and you got to buy chlorine for your pool.
Oh yeah.
And, all that good stuff. But, you're just not at our average marker.
Not meeting quota.
Yeah.
So we're going to – now, listen, if you can finish above this mark in the next 2 weeks, we're going to bring you back. Don't know hard feelings because we love you, brother. But if you don't,
You're out.
Yeah. A
Your
lot-
career-
lot on the line.
you're
for a
not
lot of
just
guys.
out. Your career's over.
And we got your backup waiting.
Yeah.
Oh, he's waiting.
Oh, they're in line.
We're
They're
not
all there.
talking when we say requalification. That's a nice word for you're fired.
Oh,
Okay,
absolutely.
Yeah.
this is people's careers. Which, by the way, Bass, some of these players have been with you forever
Yeah.
since you started 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So some of your process
Yeah.
sucks. Okay,
Yeah.
you might want to think about that. Now, the other thing we got on the line here is classic berths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so and
Angler of the year.
rookie of the year.
Yeah.
So we have things
lot.
are forming up.
It's a lot.
Okay. Now today we have Carl Jakobsen with 23-2. And by the way, Carl's year, he needs that.
Mhm.
Drew Cook, who Mike has tremendous man love for, 21-12.
Love that guy.
It's good.
Zaldane.
He has a shot at Angler of the Year.
Yes. Zaldane 21-10. That's 2 tournaments in a row for Zaldane,
Zaldane. Yeah.
where he's on.
Yeah.
Hackney.
He's good at Champlain, Zaldane.
Guys, Hackney is in
Sure.
4th.
This is his
Sure.
kind of
That's
tournament.
Does it
absolutely-
get any better than Hackney
No,
in
I
4th?
love it.
That's
I
a
love
flipping
it.
tournament for him.
But
He
does it
loves
get
it.
any better
No.
than Hackney in 4th?
Makes me feel good.
I mean,
Taiwan on.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
You know what I mean.
Kyle Patrick's in 5th,
Yeah. Great
Okay.
stories. Great story here. Big rebound for him.
23rd. That's 2
Come-
tournaments in a
Coming
row.
back from his illness and everything.
2 tournaments in a row. And,
And
it's
a New
no
York guy, Northeast guy.
it's no wonder him and Zaldane roommates.
Yeah.
Corey Johnson in 6th. He's vying for the
Yep.
Angler of the Year. And in the top 10, his competition ain't nowhere to be found.
Wow.
Brandon Lester in 7th. Brandon Lester is like that guy that
Yeah, it is.
comes into your weekly
Corey,
poker.
Corey
Go
Johnson's.
ahead. Here,
Corey-
take a look at it.
No, look, Corey Johnson's Drew Cook can beat Corey Johnson.
I'm talking about the guy that's leading it.
Trey
Yeah, I know.
McKinney.
I
Yeah.
know, but I'm talking like even though Corey Johnson's in 8th, my man Drew Cook's in 2nd.
Mhm.
Trey McKinney's top 20th.
He got points. He was only 35 points behind.
Brandon
He got
Lester.
what? 30th.
Top 20, I think.
Top 20, yeah.
Brandon Lester's in 7th, and he gets it done every day.
Yep.
Chris Johnston is in 8th, 19-14. So 8th place is the first place under 20 pounds.
Without forward facing.
And they're all talking about how tough it is.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys are animals.
Yeah.
Jason Christie, 19-13. And our buddy, Brian
Jason
Schmidt.
Christie was sandbagging all day long.
Our buddy Brian Schmidt in 10th place with 1911.
Yep. You know, Brian
Every-
Schmidt's always going to do good there.
Every angler in the field had a 5-fish limit.
And I guarantee you one thing: old Skeeter Steve is jumping up and down because
yeah.
he has Schmidt on his fantasy.
I got to tell you guys, I'm a little disappointed, and we've talked about it the last 2 years, but this year, we'll see. But there is a lot on the line for a lot of these guys, and a lot of these guys we followed for a long time. Bass, do better with letting us know and letting the fans know what's going on, because finding out at the end of the year, 3 months after the fact, is not
Sucks.
the way
Yeah.
to do it.
No,
Major League Baseball and the NFL, they build drama around this stuff.
And Bass could.
and they
They sure
should.
could.
Yep.
They should.
The ownership of Bass has done some great stuff, but they've also been very close-minded on the potential for interest from fringe fans.
Yep. Mhm.
A fringe fan's like, oh, this guy right here, he might not re-qualify. Well, I'm going to watch a little bit tomorrow and see what he does. He's
Yeah.
on the bubble.
Yep.
Well, we don't know if he's on the bubble because you think you're holding some kind of major secret. It's real easy. It's a fine line between really killing it and you're doing a pretty good job. It's a fine line, and they're doing a pretty good job.
And
they're
not
killing it.
only that, even the guys on the bubble, it gives them another opportunity to kind of show themselves and show what they're really about. You know what I mean? How hardcore they are. I mean, I would even say you would have interviews back 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago with all those guys that are on the bubble that are, what's it mean to you? I mean, these guys, our boy, Greg DePalma, he's got 8 years of his life buried in BASS Elite Series tournaments, but he also has 8 years of his life qualifying for it
In the opens.
and the opens. And, that's 16 years of his life that he put towards this. And they deserve to have, a spotlight on them.
Well, not only that, the next two tournaments, as the weigh-ins start to come to a close, you're going to see some of these guys who are on the bubble, who know they're out. They're going to be emotional on stage because this is the end of their career.
Yeah.
And a lot of the spectators don't know
They don't know
why.
they're being emotional.
Yeah.
Well, this is why.
Like we even follow it and we don't even know
Yeah.
exactly who is on the bubble
Yeah.
because
Bass does not do a good job.
they got all this weird shit that they can throw in there. But they know
They know.
who's like what everybody needs to do
Yep.
to get there. And
Well, there's another part of this because the guys that don't requalify have an opportunity to fish the EQs to requalify. They don't tell you that either.
yeah,
Like there's just
Yeah.
no communication.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I'm disappointed. in that.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's-
I've always been disappointed
Yeah.
in Bass for the
Yeah.
same reasons.
yeah. The coverage of it for the fan is terrible when it comes to the end of the season.
Well, for the knowledgeable fan,
yeah, it's
the
terrible.
casual fan could be pulled in
Yeah,
with better coverage
Yeah.
because now, what do we like? We like drama.
there's a ton of
What do we like? We like a storyline.
there is a lot. Of
I don't
story.
even know how to fish, but I know one thing. It just got explained to me that if this guy doesn't do this many points here, he's out.
Yeah.
I like this guy. I'm going to watch this guy.
Everybody likes the underdog.
I like this
Well,
guy.
hopefully we can
I'm going to
figure it
watch
out.
this guy. Now I'm a competition badminton player watching bass fishing, right?
Yeah, and it gives those guys on the bubble some boost in their what's next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives
absolutely.
them a boost on their social media boost. It gives them
Sponsors and
it gives them a sponsor boost.
They caught a spark,
like it's a spark there for them because they're in the limelight.
but Bass
And Bass
denies
won't
them
do
that
it.
Yep.
They won't give it to them.
with poor coverage.
It's terrible.
And it's not Bass's fault. The people that work for Bass, the guys that do the writing, the photographers, they're top notch.
Yeah,
Yep.
But the guy that directs them,
yeah,
he's missing the whole.
He's missing it.
Listen,
Yeah.
you're good for 80% of your year, and then when you can do the most bring in the most casual fans and energize your most loyal fans in 20% of your year, you miss it. You don't get it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
We don't like that.
I don't like it either.
We don't accept it.
Well, I got one thing to say. GDP, give them hell.
That's right, GDP.
Yep.
Drop the freaking hammer tomorrow.
All right.
All right, boys.
Well, thank you guys for hanging in there tonight. It was a great show. We had a great time giving it to you. And we hope to catch you on the next Tackle Shop Live.
Yeah, baby.
Sunny day, right there you took my breath away. Young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day you called me up, you told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms. Well, I know what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down, knowing I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought.